What's going on, guys? We are back for some more Pokemon Blue version for our classic nostalgia run. Team is looking pretty good. It's been a minute. We have Vulpix, level 31. Ember, Tail Whip, Quick Attack, and Confuse Ray, 4 more levels. And it will get Flamethrower, and then we can evolve her. We got Wartortle, also 31. Bubble Beam, Water Gun, Bubble, and Bite. We'll get him some better moves a little bit later. We got Nidoking at 31 with Body Slam, Rock Slide, Seismic Toss, and Thrash. Almost a just solid move pool. If we can just get something better than Thrash, it'll probably be Strength, honestly. And I hate to use an HM on him, but we got Haunter level 32 with Psychic, Mega Drain, Nightshade, and Confuse Ray. Then we got my favorite, my boy, Raichu at level 32 with Thunderbolt, Thundershock, Quick Attack, and Thunder Wave. I don't really think there's much more to teach Raichu in Gen 1. And then lastly, we have Kadabra at level 32 with Psybeam, Confusion, Recover, and Teleport. So, team is looking pretty solid. We've got 4 badges. I don't have Fly, though. I also don't... It's Gen 1. We don't have the ability to hit the select button and just hop on our bike. Actually, I think I also... we've already been to Saffron, because that's how we got the TM for Psychic for Haunter. So we can just cut through here. We're going to go down Cycling Road and battle those trainers. Loop down around to Fuchsia. Finish battling the trainers over on Route 15. And then we're going to slap up Team Rocket and Silphco. I'm going to go ahead and put Giovanni in his place for a second time. Now, I know we still have the Eevee. I don't know if we ever got the Eevee. There's no point in getting Fly, to be honest. Oh, yeah. We gotta wake up Big Boy here. I don't know. I mean, like, each of the evolutions are pretty solid in Gen 1. But we got Raichu, which is basically Jolteon, but a little not as good stat-wise, but it's my favorite, so I don't care. We got Flareon, which I love Flareon, but we have, we're going to have a Ninetales, which I love Ninetales so much more. That was a crit. Oh, that's not good. Alright, you shouldn't be able to touch Haunter. And then we have Wartortle, our starter, which obviously we're going to have a Blastoise, and that's not going anywhere. So, really, we don't need any of the evolutions. Now, if we could have an Espeon, I'd definitely have Espeon over Kadabra, or if we could have an Umbreon. I don't know why we picked a Mega Drain. Oh, that was a crit, though. If we can get a good crit on Psychic, this should kill. Ho ho ho! Look at me, Pokemon Master with the knowledge. And Snorlax returned to the mountains. Great, cool. Now I gotta go heal, though. Which kinda sucks, but eh. I was debating on whether or not I wanted to change up our team. There's not really a reason to. Blastoise is not coming off the team. Raichu's not coming off the team. Nidoking's not coming off the team. I really don't want Ninetales to come off the team either, which comes down to Haunter and Kadabra. Which, even without evolving, Haunter and Kadabra are fantastic. Like, they don't need to evolve. Their stats are pretty fucking good for a middle stage Pokemon. But there's not a whole lot I would consider adding. Besides, like, we could add Aerodactyl, that'd be cool. Or we could add one of the legendary birds. But, other than that, like, I don't know. I just don't really feel like there's anything better to add. Vulpix, I need you to level up, pretty please. Disable the quick attack, that's fine. I'm not using it anyways. Come on, no burn or nothing? Even with Vulpix, it's like, what do I teach Vulpix? It'll learn Flamethrower, cool. I can teach it Fire Blast, I guess. That's cool too, but like there isn't anything really to teach. So many Pokemon in Gen 1 just can't learn anything good. Now, like Nidoking can learn almost anything, which I just absolutely love. But, like, Raichu gets normal and electric type moves. I don't even think it can learn anything fighting in this game. Vulpix doesn't get anything besides fire and normal. It doesn't get any grass type moves, no solar beam, no energy ball. It doesn't get psychic moves like extrasensory yet. Blastoise, I mean, could have like, I think there's a couple fighting moves Blastoise could learn. And then you can learn ice type moves, but other than that, again, it's just water and normal. Kadabra? I'm trying to think. I know Haunter can learn some stuff. Like, Haunter can learn Thunderbolt, Mega Drain, Psychic. It's ghost type moves. Kadabra gets Psychic type moves. I don't remember. I know in Gen 2. In Gen 2, Alakazam can have Fire, Thunder, and Ice Punch, which makes Alakazam extremely terrifying. And not really like those. I mean, those aren't the best moves because the Psychic from Alakazam is doing far more. But even so, like, it gives him tight coverage out the ass. And with a crit, Wartortle proves that he don't need no other moves. You know, even all these years later, it's been over 20 freaking years. I still am not sure if I prefer that Wartortle evolves into Blastoise now, or that we could have had a third evolution for Wartortle, and then Blastoise been its own Pokemon. Because, I mean, it would have been cool either way, I guess. I mean, ideally, we don't even really need to battle any of these cue balls, these bikers, but it's experience. That's basically all it is. Just, I mean, we get some pocket change, get some lunch money, but we'll get a burn, that's what. And I thought about it before. It's like, even if I chose to... If I chose to add another Pokemon to the team, if I added one of the legendary birds, they're level 50 anyways. So I don't have to worry about, you know, leveling them up, because I thought about it, it's like, well, I could catch or, you know, get whatever I'm going to get and then battle all these guys and save up that experience. But again, there's not really anything else to use it on. Ooh, it's big boy likes the boom. See, and having Haunter, having a ghost type, it's like it gives me an option. It gives me just such a hard counter to Pokemon that want to blow up, or use the poison types, or use normal type moves. Which Kadabra doesn't grant us that. However, Kadabra is just a fucking powerhouse on his own. And Psychic is a really good type, so... You know, aside from the fact that Psychic doesn't really have any weaknesses, but even in this game, it's like Bug-type moves fucking suck. Ghost-type moves, the only Ghost-type move is Lick, because Nightshade doesn't even check for typing. Besides on a normal type, like Nightshade won't hit a Pidgey, but it's also not going to do super effective damage to a Kadabra. Let's see, what level? I think we get the fossils at level 30, right? Cerebi is not telling me. Why? What? I mean, it has to be the case, because it gets Wing Attack and Agility and doesn't learn anything until 33, Supersonic, 38 Bite, 45 Takedown, and 54 Hyper Beam. So besides Wing Attack, it doesn't even get anything decent. And it can learn Fire Blast, but it can't even learn, like, a Rock-type move. So, like, you get Rock Slide, which I taught to Nidoking, but the Rock-type Pokemon? Nah. Like, it's funny, because Gen 1 was the game that was still trying to figure itself out. So, Red and Blue, and Yellow to an extent, were so difficult because you just weren't told half the shit in the game. You had to learn so much of it without any assistance. And then even then, you had, like, Pokemon that just... Like, it's Aerodactyl. It's a flying rock-type move. It gets 0 rock-type moves. Not by level up or even by TM. The Gold and Silver kind of fixed that a bit, but... Not quite enough, but it definitely did a lot better. Which is also why, even though I grew up with Red and Blue as my first games, Gold and Silver I still think are the perfect first game. Also the fact that they're easier, which for, you know, someone who's like good at the game. Oh, whoops. Didn't know she was disabled. For, you know, for us veterans, it's like the level curve is so low that you don't really have to try. But the level curve in Red and Blue was pretty substantial. I mean, fucking A, especially when you get to, like, when you get to Gary, and I think his lowest level Pokemon's 58, and his other Pokemon get up into the 60s. Like, there was no fucking around with Gary. Not in that champion battle. And it felt like you had to... It felt more like you had to actually grind your team. Especially when you get to the end of the game. And it's like, to even have your Pokemon at 50, which, in my opinion, 50 is not high enough level. Yeah. 50 is not high enough to go into the Elite Four. I mean, you can do it, but I usually try to get mine at 55. And so that requires me to do some grinding in Victory Road at the end, and that kind of sucks. It sucks to have to do that, especially because grinding is just, it's so monotonous. It's so just brain-numbingly boring. Nidoking is pretty much, he's immune to poison. He's 4 times resisted to poison moves. But still, if this thing decides to self-destruct, Nidoking will take a good chunk of damage. Hey, that was way too much, yo. Almost. Oh. Nidoking grew to 32. Haunter grew to 33. Haunter's also that Pokemon that, like, I don't know. I mean, I like Kadabra and I like Alakazam, but I like Haunter and Gengar so much more. And I like them both not equally. I like them both enough that I'm like, I just realized what I was doing. It's so fucking awkward. Now I forgot what I was saying. Oh, it's just like, Haunter is such a cool Pokemon by himself, whereas Kadabra is too, but not on Haunter's level. But then Gengar is such a cool Pokemon, which so is Alakazam, but again, he's nowhere near Gengar's level. Every time I battle these guys, too, it always just makes me think of the bike gang that Ash, Misty, and Brock had to deal with in the anime when they're trying to cross the bike bridge, and it's like, those guys were just idiots. What was the move that gets better when they use Minimize? Was it Stomp? I mean, we landed the hit either way, but smoked. I didn't know that was Jim Carrey. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I like all of these Pokemon, obviously. I mean, I've pretty much got my bases covered. Now, granted, with Kadabra's a little faster and hits a little bit harder than Haunter. And I mean, I believe is our fastest and our strongest Pokemon stat-wise. But I feel like if I was going to take one off the team, I feel like it would be Kadabra. Haunter's only like 5 points slower, 5 points weaker. And I believe he only gets psychic moves in this game. Whereas, I mean, Haunter's got psychic, he's got Mega Drain, which is grass. Nightshade is just Nightshade. But Haunter can learn other stuff. I'll check Kadabra, just to check. Let's let Raichu come out. Everybody else has seen play so far. Kadabra will get Psychic at 38, but that's it. Let's see, TM wise though. I mean, yeah, like he can't even, he gets Thunder Wave, but he can't even get like access to like Thunderbolt, for example, which Haunter does. So I don't know. I feel like if I was going to take one off, but what would be the benefit? I mean, Aerodactyl is a hell of a lot faster than Kadabra. Obviously, with a base 130. Kadabra's special is 120. I believe Aerodactyl's attack, I think, is only 110? 105. So 105 in the older games, did they change it to 110 later? I'm not sure. And then the legendary birds are just the legendary birds. Like, they're just that good. It would just kind of come down to, do you want to use Articuno, Zapdos, or Moltres? Which Moltres, again, I've got Ninetales. Zapdos, I've got Raichu. So Articuno would probably be the best. It'd give us ice and it'd give us flying. But honestly, Articuno would probably be best, just because it's like Raichu, fast attacker, Haunter, fast attacker, Ninetales, fast attacker, Nidoking, a little bit slower attacker, but a little bulkier. Kadabra, again, fast attacker, and then we got Wartortle, which will be a Blastoise, will be our tankiest. Obviously, Articuno will be a freaking lot tankier.